It's news time. Information is power. Be current. The news headline. October 1st. Nigerians are in pains. Khan tells Bühãri. The Christian Association of Nigeria has called on President Muhammadu Bühãri and the 36 state governors in the country to rally and earnestly begin the process of correcting the ills in the society. The Khan president, Reverend Samson Ayokunle, made the call in a message to mark Nigerians' 61st Independence Day anniversary in Abuja on Thursday. In a statement, the Khan president said, "We are in pains of insecurity, inflation, unemployment, poverty is staring many people in the face. Kidnappers do not allow us to rest. Some religious fanatics want to forcefully convert Nigerians into their own religion. This is the main agenda of the Boko Haram insurgents and the Islamic State of West African Province, ISWAP. They have caused and are still causing mayhem in the nation, killing innocent citizens. For the past years, bad and selfish leadership have largely contributed to the unfortunate state we are today. By their actions, they threw the citizens into unnecessary sufferings and pains. Unemployed youths have taken to criminality. Youths are trying frantically to run abroad to search for a better life. Nonetheless, Ayokunle gave kudos to the military for the recent upper hand they have had over the terrorists in Nigeria and expressed confidence that with God, the fortunes of the country could change for the better going forward. The situation, humanly speaking, appears bleak, but knowing that God is not man and with him all things are possible, this is the right time to believe that there shall be showers of blessings because some people are praying for this country. We encourage the law enforcement agents not to give these criminals any breathing space until the battle is won and Nigeria is safe again as before." And this is the Christian Association of Nigeria telling President Muhammadu Bühãri and other governors that Nigeria is in pains, and tomorrow being the October 1st, 2021, a time for celebration of independence in the day, they can have the opinion that regardless of this independence, it seems that we are not independent of, we are not free from pains, insecurity, inflation, unemployment, poverty, and everything that is happening in the country, saying that the Boko Haram insurgents and the Islamic State of West Africa Province have caused and are still causing mayhem in the nation, killing innocent citizens. Nonetheless, Ayokunle had actually given kudos to the military for their recent upper hand that they have over the terrorists in Nigeria, saying that the situation, humanly speaking, appears bleak, but that God is not man and with him all things are possible, saying that they encourage law enforcement agents not to give these criminals any breathing space until the battle is won and Nigeria is safe again as before. Also, an analyst recently talked about the contradictions of President Muhammadu Bühãri at the United Nations General Assembly, of which he is at New York, saying that what the president was talking about, terrorism, and that Israel and Palestine should settle their disputes by finding peace and dialoguing, saying that the president is not acting what he is saying. It is that have been making genuine efforts towards resolving the lingering differences between them for ages, despite the challenges that have blocked their peace efforts, which have resulted in pockets of violence along the line. They have yet continued to seek amicable solutions to their mammoth differences via bilateral and multilateral means. These civilized countries don't need the advice of President Muhammadu Bühãri, who is averse to peaceful negotiations, to counsel them on how to dialogue for peace. Again, the president claims that the state of insecurity in the country was inadequately tackled by his administration, consequent to the massive capitulation of insurgents and other violent elements in the northeast, contradicts the facts on ground. His failure to tell the world the whole truth about the dire security situation in the country, which has witnessed an escalation in the activities of violent groups of different hues, portrays him as an insensitive ruler who does not give a hoot about the safety of Nigerians. The president's claim is further contradicted by his Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Farouk, who revealed at an interface that armed insurgency and banditry in the northeast and northwest had driven over 330 Nigerian refugees into neighboring countries. This, coupled with rising cases of kidnappings for ransoms by itinerant armed bandits, political assassinations, herdsmen, attacks on communities, attacks on security formations by insurgents, and unknown gunmen across the country, exposes the president as a pathological liar. It is sad that this administration has continued to handle the worsening security situation across the country with levity, choosing to play the proverbial ostrich, despite the early warning signs of an incoming catalytic deluge. President Muhammadu Buhari's continued refusal to declare armed herdsmen terrorists, alongside the reluctance to clamp down on their violent activities, the same way he has done to peaceful agitators in other parts of the country, has inadvertently emboldened these merchants of death, leaving Nigerians at their mercy. It is then highly comical the brazen manner our leaders preach the values of peace and democracy to their counterparts in other countries, but forbid their observance at home. It is amusing, and the manner of which our political chief executives and green-on diplomats junkets round the world lecturing others on the principles of good governance based on our supposed experiences, when they contradict the tenets of these doctrines in their conduct at home. Across the globe, Nigerian leaders have become squeamish squealers who shamelessly preach what they do not practice, loquacious goblins who can't control their slack tongues, loose cannons in full flight. Rather than making a mockery of himself before the international community, next time, Mr. President should first and foremost give room for national dialogue to discuss and address Nigeria's several existential problems before attempting to preach to other countries the need to do likewise. He should also take steps to check the burgeoning security challenges in the country and stop shirking his core responsibilities as the commander-in-chief. Oga, Nigeria is at war. Time to gird your loins and lead from the front. That was what you were elected to do. Mr. President should look in the mirror and change his ways and start practicing what he preaches. Charity, they say, begin at home. And this was a writer, a political analyst, writing about the words of President Muhammadu Buhari at the United Nations General Assembly, while he was addressing the Israel and Palestine, which we know are having some, conflicts over time, and have been trying to resolve this conflict between them through bilateral and multilateral means, and these civilized countries, are at least looking for a way to dialogue with themselves to come to a rational conclusion of peace. However, the writer is of the opinion that President Muhammadu Buhari is far from this, because he advising Israel and Palestine to resolve their age-line conflicts, saying that their differences was due to absence of justice, fairness, and equity, means that President Muhammadu Buhari is actually contradicting himself, because back in his own home, he is not practicing what he is doing. The writer is of the opinion that the president is actually after people that are asking for a peaceful dialogue and labeling them as terrorists, speech makers, and subversive elements, for daring to ask him for a dialogue. The writer is of the opinion that the president should change his ways and start practicing what is preached, because charity, they say, begins at home. Thanks for listening.